All right, so being the numbers guy, I'll give you the numbers on CAUSE and CASA. So CAUSE we look at about spending $16,000 a year on, and CASA is about $30,000 a year on. That's about the equivalent of a full-time position within our organization. But I have seen the lobbying that comes out of these groups, and it is very powerful. The lobbying that we're able to do with these organizations is on a federal level and a provincial level of the scale that we're not able to achieve as one organization. It's important that we partner with these other universities in order to be able to achieve a united front where we can push for various issues. So I think that these organizations are extremely important, and I think it's worth the cost of the students for us to be involved with these organizations. With regards to CASA specifically, they have the Wall of Debt campaign going on right now, and I think that debt is a very important issue to students. I think myself personally have a lot of debt, and I think many amongst us do. So I think that these organizations are pushing for the right things within our groups, and knowing some other student lobby groups, I think these are the best that are out there that we can be a part of. So us spending that money there, I think it's very worthwhile
So just
for
on
us.
what more of what Mike said, I do believe that CASA is a very important group that we as UL should be part of. As well as, Canadian student loans, they're very important for students who need proper funding to go to school here. It's very important to funding their post-secondary education so they do have the opportunity to grow and learn. As well, CASA is involved with issues such as funding for Aboriginal youth, removing that 2% cap that they have on funding, as well as student mental health is a huge issue that they advocate for. And working on that, they have an Opening Minds program, as well as a public education campaigns, which are also very important to the organization. So I think the money is very well spent. We get our voice out on a federal level, and that's very important.
We are primarily a political organization. Lobbying is what we are here to do. CASA gives us a voice at the federal level that we wouldn't otherwise have. And out of the two choices between CASA and the CFS, I think CASA is by far the better choice. Also, we're seeing a worrying trend that's recently coming up with the Conservative government and the Fair Elections Act. That could seriously reduce students' ability to vote in 2015 federal elections, and that's something that CASA will be working against, or not against, but to prevent from happening. And so it's extremely important that we have a voice at that table in that process. And so,
thanks for asking the question, Brian. I was hoping someone would. It's an important question, and it's one that comes up about every year. Just speaking from experience this year with CASA, as I mentioned earlier, we have a win on the Canadian Student Loans Program with vehicle exemption, and it also provides us our best platform to advocate for Aboriginal students and international students. And just to throw back another number here, CASA every year, at least for the last few years, has had triple digits in terms of meetings with decision makers, so MPs, senators, policy staff. So I think that even though it's an expensive organization to be a part of, it's well worth being a part of because we really get our concerns and our voice out there, and there are concrete wins that we see every year as a part of it.
As strong as I think there are vast amount of benefits for being part of those organizations, but I think the biggest thing that I would like to look into and perhaps just question, I suppose, is just the proper spending of travel and just really looking at what we're getting for what we're paying. By no means, I think being part of that organization is very important because I mean, if we decide to pull out, then I mean we're not going to be a united post-secondary group. I mean, if everyone pulls out, we need to make sure that we're uniting as a national group. So the importance of it, I think, is there, but just being aware of how much it costs and just keeping an eye on the financial expenses and making sure that we are a smaller institution. That's going to affect how our travel expenses work. So,
A lot of this has already been said, but I strongly believe in our support of CASA as an organization. Yes, it is expensive, but every student association, a student union in Canada is obviously trying to cut costs, but if some drop out, we're losing that team ethic, I guess we could call it. And if people start dropping out everywhere just to save a little bit of money that is giving them a powerful voice, and everybody drops out, nobody has a voice. So we need to continue to support the rest of Canadian students while they support us on a federal level. It would offer up a freeloading problem. And if anybody else is an econ major, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.